Hey, welcome to math class. So we're in week 32. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the year. We have about 8 weeks to go. So I decided to break my promise to you. I told you that we wouldn't be learning anything new, but we're going to learn something new. Really, this is stuff that you already know, but in um, working with a lot of you over the past few weeks, especially if you have me for reading, I noticed that some of us really struggle when it comes to reading charts or graphs. So charts or graphs, they're pretty similar to a calendar. They have information that we need to know. So a calendar, of course, we can figure out the month, the day of the week. We can predict or plan for when we want to schedule something or have something. We can also use our calendar as like a to-do list so we can jot things down so that we know when things are due. Well, charts and graphs are very similar to that. We use a chart and graph to find specific information. When we're talking about math, a lot of times when we're looking at charts or graphs, charts are generally pictures. So whether that would be a pie chart, which a lot of us have seen, especially when we were learning about fractions, or graphs would be when we're putting little points or X's on a chart. And sometimes you'll see those X's or points or dots connected with lines, or other times you'll see them sometimes stacked on top of one another. That is done for a reason, and it's for us to find information. It helps us, it puts it into a picture so that we can use that picture to get the answer to the question that's being asked. Um, I feel that although we've learned this in the past, that this is something we have not spent a lot of time on this year. So I feel that if we don't go over this, that some of the stuff that we have coming up is going to be very difficult. For example, in reading and science, we are going to be talking over the next several weeks, we're going to be talking about weather. So looking at charts and graphs are super important when you're dealing with the weather. It's also just a good general math skill to have so that you're able to figure out um, what is more important, what is least important, which one is greater, which one is less than. So we will be Zooming on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, like we have been. We're just going to be working on taking a look at charts and graphs and being able to interpret those, read those, so that we can answer questions. And then, of course, on Wednesday, you'll have your Nearpod and you'll be doing some things with charting and graphing as well. In addition to reading the charts and graphs, you're also going to be drawing charts and graphs. So we will be using numbers or specific information, and we'll be taking those numbers and we will be actually drawing them in picture form, whether we're using lines or bars or dots or X's or whatever we may have seen in the past when we were looking at these charts and graphs and reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get ready for our Zoom. Please make sure that you're there at 9:30 so we can go ahead and begin. In this week, please make sure that you have plenty of paper and pencil. Also, if you have crayons, colored pencils, even markers, those may be helpful as well. Sometimes seeing this information in color will make it a little easier for you to be able to answer the questions that we'll be asking. So, all right, let's get started with charts and graphs.